In this video, we're going to continue walking through the creation of a Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. At the end of part one of this video series, we went up to the Insert tab on the ribbon and we selected New Slide. So hopefully you notice that when you do use Insert New Slide, you get to choose the slide layout. At that point, we chose To Content, and that's what we're looking at here. This would be the To Content slide layout. What To Content slide layout allows you to do is you could throw text on one side of the screen and a video on the other side, or you could have a picture and a video. The options are almost endless. You could have text and a table. What we're going to mostly use this for is to have text on one side and a picture on the other side. So I'm going to click here and add a title. And we'll call that Lecture A, Intro to Technology. And I need to decide where I would like my text. I think I'm going to add some text on the lower left. So on the left, you can see I did add a few lines of text. And notice that by default, the bullet is going to be present in each one of those. If you do not want the bullet there, or you would like to change it, all I have to do is click in the area, just like so, and hit backspace, and the bullet is gone. And to change the bullet style, you could highlight this and make sure you are on the Home tab and go up to our same section here, our button that's the Bullet to Library, and choose a different bullet. Okay, it's the same exact thing as last time. I'm actually going to leave the bullets the way they are for this one. We could also change the font style. We could add some color and even bold type or italicize or even underline, just as we would before. Now at this point here, I do want to hit return. There's a few more things I want to add, but I want to see what happens if I tab. Now I don't know if you noticed that, but the bullet got a little bit smaller, and I'm going to type in the word input, hit return, processing, hit return, and output. So you could see there that the font size did get a little bit smaller, and it continued to get stay small as I hit enter and went on to the next bullet point. You can change the font size, which is currently 24, or you can leave it the way it is. But by default, when you tab in from the left side, it will make the font size slightly smaller. But at any point, you could go back and adjust the font size. So like we did before, let's go ahead and just review this one more time. I could go ahead and highlight that, and at the top, increase this to 48. I could change the style if I would like. I could bold and add different colors. I've been doing the blue so far, so I'm going to stay with that. Usually when you're working with a presentation, you really have to know your audience. If you're going to be presenting in a large room, like an auditorium, you probably want to go with the larger font size so that the audience members in the back of the room can see it. But if you're in a small room or just on a single computer, your font size probably does not have to be that large. So I'm going to change these to 32, which is pretty much a good medium-sized font. And I'm going to make these one size up to 28. Now also keep in mind that you're going to want to be aware of your limitations within the slide. And also if I want to throw some coloring in here, okay, there's my bold type. I could throw some coloring in as well. Bold type, maybe throw in the color red once again. Anything I did before, I could also do now. Now, before I move on to adding pictures, I want to show you another feature about Microsoft PowerPoint, and this is the design feature. Now, it's good to actually work on your design early on, and I'm going to show you why here in a second. If you get too far, you may have to do a little bit too many changes than you're going to be happy with. So at this point, I want to take a look at designing the actual slideshow where I add colors, maybe a theme. So I want to change my tab to Design tab. And one of the easiest things you could do, I'm just going to go back to the title slide at the beginning of the slideshow. One of the easiest things you could do is go to Background and fill in the background with one of these solid colors. So I'm just going to choose, I'll choose something kind of extreme here. Let's go with this yellow. And notice how it just selects the background of the color of the first slide. You can go ahead and choose background, get the drop-down menu, and select apply to all, and you're going to see that same background on every slide. Okay, so that would be formatting the background. You could go back to white at any point as well, but keep in mind that you want to use the apply to all feature. Now, if you really want something a little bit more fancy, come over here to the left side of the ribbon where I have a drop-down menu right below the word transitions. Hit that drop-down menu and you're now looking at themes. Okay, so you can see that the themes have different designs and different colors and different formatting. And this is why I said you really want to kind of decide on your design features early on. So for example, I already added a few colors. I have some bullets. I was getting ready to add a picture, which I'm going to do in a few mouse clicks here, but I'm going to just choose a few of these and show you what the design looks like. So there's a design. Notice how everything changes. My dark blue font color from the beginning is hardly recognizable. Okay, you may not even be able to see it in this video. And same thing with my color at the top. Right there, PowerPoint lecture presented. Notice two things here. My font color that I originally had is poorly blending with my background. Okay. Also notice how my bullets got readjusted. Let me go on to the next slide. I am almost off the slide here with my formatting. So if you wait till the end and you're done by the end of your maybe 10 slides, 20 slides, 50 slides, and you go ahead and design on a theme at that point, you really could be in trouble because you're going to have to go back and reformat possibly quite a bit. So I'm going to actually choose a different theme. I'm not going to make any changes. I'm definitely not going with that one. Let's choose this one here. And notice how this is a lot different. Okay, I have a big block of red at the middle, right there in the middle. My title of the slide is off to the left. My bullets, my lists are up in the top middle. Everything's kind of jumbled around, and it doesn't look like anything I wanted from before. So again, I'm not going to stick with that one. I'm actually going to come down here, try one more for you, and just again to show you how they are very different. This one is green. Doesn't look too bad. It kind of fits pretty much most of my formatting that I have. The colors look good, except take a look at slide 3, how it completely took my list and threw it right off the slide. Okay, so that's not going to be good. So again, this is why you want to select a design feature right at the beginning. Now with this, so let me show you, I could also combine a theme with a background. So let me choose a background. Right now it's white. I'm just going to choose this orange color there, gold. You can see how you could combine them both. But once again, when you're working with a PowerPoint presentation, keep in mind your audience so you could adjust your font size. And keep in mind your colors. You do not want to have colors that are going to block each other out. Okay, some nice color combinations are blue and yellow. They would work well. Red and green are good combinations too. But you can see here how my subtitle is hardly even recognizable there with that gold background and the color that I have. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're presenting through. I'm actually going to go back to my white right there, and I'm going to select Note Theme. And before this video is over, I'm going to actually come up with the design feature here that I'm going to apply to all these, and it's going to be very simple. So I'm going to go to a medium gray, if you will. So a medium gray, and I think I like that. Looks pretty good. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply that to everything. And after 3 slides, I finally have a design. And it looks pretty good to me. Okay. At this point here, I want to finish off slide 3. I'll pick up where I left off by adding in a picture. And I'm going to use the shortcut. So I'm going to add a picture here now that my design is pretty much set in place. And if you notice, I got 3 icons at the top, 3 icons down the bottom. The first one at the top left is to add a table. Then I also have a second one there is to add a matrix of text. And this is probably a great time to take a look at the undo feature. So I really do not want to have this in my slide. And notice how this is smart art. Okay, one of the tabs I do not really want to look at today or use. So make sure that you are on the Home tab. And at the very left of the ribbon, right below the word File, is the Undo button. Okay, so you're going to probably become good friends with the Undo button the more you work with the Microsoft PowerPoint software. So just as easy as that, it's gone. But the Insert Picture icon is at the lower row, all the way to the left. And if I select that, it's going to ask me to choose a file from my computer. And before you get to this point here where you're adding pictures, you probably want to get a collection of pictures saved on your computer in a location that you know where it's at. So I could choose my pictures, and I do have several of them here to select from. I'm going to choose that, and I could either double click that or hit open. I'll actually double click that, and it's going to show me in this little dialog box the picture that I want. And all I have to do to confirm that is select Insert, and there's my picture. Now on the outside of the picture, you can see that I have these white dots. Those are called handlebars. If you select one of the handlebars in the corner, it will uniformly decrease and increase the size of the picture. If you select one of the handlebars in the middle, it's going to stretch it out, left, right, and top and bottom, like that. Keep in mind that that could make your picture look a little strange if you stretch it out one way or the other. So using the corner handlebars is probably the best thing to do. So combining the moving of the handlebars with the left mouse click and drag, you should be able to modify your pictures whichever way you need to. So looking at pictures along with the text is a great way to add a nice look to a slide that normally would be kind of just boring by looking at the text. Okay, now we're ready to add our 4th slide, and I'm going to do the shortcut version of adding a next slide. So right click on slide 3 and select new slide. And there we go. There's our 4th slide. But I'm going to format this. I'm going to add some text to this and another picture in the next video. So this wraps up the second part of this video series. And we'll take a look at continuing this in the next part. Until next time.